There are 15 games on the menu in Major League Baseball today, Friday, April 18. Would you like a ton of betting picks? If so, then this video is perfect for you. And the good news is that 3 of the betting tips are considered as being premium. We're talking about wagers that hold a nice positive expected value. So make sure you watch the whole video, my friend. I'm Professor MJ, a 15-year university stats teacher turned into a full-time sports bettor and advisor. I'm here to guide you in your sports betting journey so that you can earn a profit over the long haul. I did not find a good value wager in any of the first 4 games of the day, so let's skip right away to the Reds-Orioles matchup. We are swinging for the fences right off the bat by taking a fairly significant underdog. In fact, I am backing Cincinnati to win straight up in Baltimore. After a 6-game home stretch, the Reds will go on the road to Baltimore to take on the Orioles at Camden Fields. After going on a 4-game win streak, Cincinnati dropped the last 2 in their 3-game series against the Mariners. On the other hand, Baltimore has won their past 2, with both victories coming against the Guardians. During these past 2 contests, Baltimore amassed 9 runs on Wednesday before crossing home plate 6 times yesterday. This leads me into one of my betting systems called the Hot Bats number 1. Allow me to remind you of the rules. If the home team won its past 2 games by scoring 6+ runs in each of those victories, bet against them. Therefore, according to the rules of the Hot Bats number 1, we must put a little sprinkle on the Cincinnati Reds to sneak home against the Orioles. However, I must give a word of caution. While the results from my original research of this betting angle from 2010 through 2016 produced positive results, this betting angle has not been so productive in more recent times. I rate this system with 2 stars out of 5, meaning that it is no longer a trustworthy system. However, in saying that, the past 8 picks have picked up the win 7 times by following the rules of this system. So, let's keep striking while the iron is hot. Go Reds! Buckle up, my next pick made it among my short list of premium plays for today in Major League Baseball. In the Yankees-Rays showdown, I am betting Carlos Rodon to record under 6.5 strikeouts. First of all, Tampa as a team strikes out at a below-average rate. In fact, they have struck out the 12th most time out of 30 teams. I know this bet sounds a bit scary at first sight, given how Rodon has picked up 7, 5, 8, and 8 punch-outs in each of his 4 outings this year. However, this wager posted a 19-13 record last season, and he is pitching on the road. My mathematical model really loves this bet as well, so I am all over Carlos Rodon to obtain a maximum of 6 strikeouts in Tampa Bay today. Scoring drought alert! Which means we have a premium pick coming up in the White Sox versus Red Sox match. Those who have followed my work for a long period of time would know just how much faith I have in the scoring drought system. This betting angle has produced profits year in and year out since 2010. A team qualifies under the scoring drought betting angle when the following occurs. If the road team has lost its past 2 games by scoring 2 runs or less in each of those defeats, and has a money line greater than 2.50 in decimal odds, which means plus 150 in American format, then we must fade them, which means we need to bet against them. Alright, now let's take a quick look at the Chicago White Sox. Firstly, the White Sox have lost their past 4 games. Yesterday, they were held scoreless, and 2 days ago, they managed just a solitary run. Secondly, Chicago are ranked outsiders for this contest, which is reflected in their plus 175 odds in American format, or 2.75 in decimal. Therefore, we must bet against them today. So my pick is for the Red Sox to overcome a hapless and uninspiring White Sox side whose offense is as cold as a Quebec winter. In fact, the boys from Chicago have managed to score 3 or more runs just 4 times in 18 matches so far this season. That is awful. Don't forget, this is viewed as a premium play. My next pick concerns a player proposition bet involving the Cardinals-Mets matchup. More precisely, I am taking David Peterson from the New York Mets to record over 17.5 outs. In other words, I am banking on the fact that he will last at least 6 innings on the mound. Last year, this bet generated a 12-9 record. So far in the 2025 campaign, he has lasted 6, 4 2/3, and 6 innings. So if you combine both years, this wager holds a 14-10 record. I am aware of the fact that St. Louis has a pretty good offense. They have scored the 5th highest number of runs, while also producing the 2nd best batting average in the big leagues. But I still trust Peterson to make it to 6 innings. Since 2023, he has been more solid at home than on the road. Indeed, his home ERA during this time frame is 3.00 versus 4.51 away. I do have a lean in the Twins-Braves game. I like under 8.5 runs to be the winning bet. Both clubs are among the bottom 7 teams in terms of runs scored this year. That's a good start. That being said, the betting public may be tempted to go with the over given the starters' high ERAs, 9.49 for Chris Paddock and 7.20 for Bryce Elder. But let's not overreact to that. I agree that Paddock is not a great hurler. But the good news is that he is coming off his best performance of the year. When facing Detroit 6 days ago, he gave up just 2 hits in 5 innings of work. As far as Elder is concerned, what the heck is going on with him? After a fairly good 2023 season, where he obtained a decent 1.28 whip stat across close to 175 innings pitched, he has faltered both last year and this season. He is in danger of losing his rotation spot, so perhaps that's going to wake him up. Against a not-so-great Minnesota offense and pitching at home, perhaps he can rebound. To me, seeing 9 runs or more on the board seems fairly unlikely. For this reason, I am siding with the under in this contest. Here comes a third premium pick for today in baseball. I absolutely love the San Diego Padres with the plus 1.5 run line in Houston. Most people want to avoid backing Kyle Hart given his high 5.40 ERA this year. Moreover, he had only pitched 11 innings in the big leagues prior to this season, and it occurred back in 2020. However, his whip statistic tells another story. The league average pertaining to this stat is 1.30, while Hart's whip stands at 1.11, which is very solid. He had 1 poor outing at Wrigley Field, but his other 2 outings went well. Indeed, he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings against Cleveland, and he also tossed 6 scoreless innings against Colorado. I know the Rockies' offense is weak, but the fact remains that he surrendered just a single hit in that game. It's not like Hart was facing one of the most reliable pitchers in baseball either. Rookie Ryan Gusto could have a bad game. He opened the season in the bullpen before being tasked of starting against the Angels following Arrigetti's injury. The outing did not go so well because he surrendered a total of 3 runs in 4 innings of work. Is the money line also a viable option here? I think it's a good bet too. But based on my personal preference, I have decided to opt for the run line. You are the decision maker. Go Padres! Alright, let's talk about the Ace Brewers game. Today, the Brewers qualify under another one of my MLB betting systems called the Stingy Pitchers. Let's review the rules of this system. If the road team won its past 2 games by allowing either 0 or 1 run in each of those wins, and has a money line smaller or equal to 2.50 in decimal odds, which corresponds to plus 150 in American format, then bet against them. The Athletics come into today's contest having swept the White Sox. Yesterday was a shutout, and 2 days ago they restricted Chicago to a solitary run. The Ace moneyline for today's contest is plus 137 in American format or 2.37 in decimal odds. According to the rules of this system, we must fade the Ace and therefore bet the Brewers. How has this system fared so far this year? So far, we have utilized this system on 3 occasions and got the W each time. Attaboy! I do believe that we will make it 4 for 4 today. I rate the Stingy Pitchers betting angle as 4 stars. I believe that it is a very decent system. I don't think that it was the superior pitching of the Athletics that restricted the White Sox to such few runs over the past 2 days, but more so the horrible Chicago offense. Go Brewers in this one! The Nationals will travel to Coors Field to take on the Rockies. My pick for this matchup is for the Rockies to snap their 6-game losing streak and pick up the W against the team from the nation's capital. I may be a little crazy for taking the Rockies because, well, let's face it, they are terrible. The only time I contemplate taking the Rockies is when they play at home. Over the past number of seasons, their home record, while still ordinary, remains far better than on the road. Furthermore, the Nationals are rebuilding and as a result are not the strongest franchise in the MLB. They can be inconsistent at times. The Rockies also qualify under one of my 19 MLB betting systems called the Cold Teams Matchup Number 2. Before I explain the rules of this lucrative system, let's see how it has fared so far this season. It has produced just 1 bet for 1 victory. This betting angle does not produce many bets throughout the season, but it has been one of my more lucrative systems over the past 15 seasons. Alright, here are the rules of the Cold Teams Matchup Number 2. If the road team has lost either 1, 2, or 3 straight games, whereas the home club is undergoing a losing skid of length at least 4, then bet the home team. The Nationals are coming to Colorado having lost their past 2, while on the other hand, Colorado has lost 6 straight. Therefore, and according to the rules of this system, I am going to pick the Rockies to get the Chocolates in their first game back at home in 6 starts. Meanwhile, this is Washington's 8th straight away game, and that has to take a toll as the road trip goes deeper. Let's back the Rockies in this matchup. Don't miss out my predictions for the first round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. I released a video last night that unveils my prediction for each of the 8 series. including a few upsets. Check out this video by clicking the small card appearing in the bottom of your screen right now. And if you are a NBA lover, then you will also enjoy my video revealing 3 winning betting strategies that have been very lucrative over 27 years. I'm Professor MJ. You are invited to watch those insightful videos that are likely to boost your bankroll.